How we doing, team? Welcome. Glad you're here. Getting us live over on YouTube, and then we'll begin. The standard statement. Excited. How we doing, team? To be with you here today. All right, good. All right, team. Excited to be here and sharing with you some information about dual pricing. All right, I know you've had this covered very well by our team thus far, and I wanted to talk about a couple other things today from a strategic point of view on profitability enhancement strategy solutions for your clients. All right. We've talked a lot about how our funding can get out and be a strategy solution for clients because you know how they're here. 6 out of 10 are breaking even or losing money. Their strategy is they need to have a strategy to get them up here making profit, right? And how we come alongside, help them with systems and funding to get there. Well, one of the fastest ways that we can help a business get to profitability is by removing 3% of their sales as an expense, by limiting their cost of goods sold down by 3% or 4% in some cases. So some people follow that and you're good with math and you go, I get it, totally get it. I totally get if someone's doing $100,000 in sales and they're paying 3,000 in credit card fees, they're paying 36 grand a year, but it's just an expense. I get that by taking that $3,000 fee away and letting them keep all 100,000, that they're going to make 36 grand more a year. I get that. Okay. And if you get that, strategically fabulous, because that'll help you understand the benefit you're bringing to the business. But this is what I want us all to think about. What I want us to think about today is the reason why people are doing what we're doing, right? Some of you are doing this for your residual income, and you should be. Some of you are doing this because you want to escape a job. So you should keep doing this, keep getting clients, keep getting clients, keep getting clients, because as you get more clients, your residual income grows. It's not easy. I was talking to Hugh the other day through text exchange, and he said, it's not easy. Of course, it's not easy getting clients, but it's worth it. It's worth it because as you go out and get clients, even if you just add $50 a month residual to your pay, that's $600 a year or 3,000 over the next 5 years. That's a fabulous return for having a conversation and referring a client. So the reason why you're doing this is to drive your profit, right? That's why you're here. That's why you're here in DAC, is to increase your profits. You're building a business. You're paid on top line revenue. You got to get revenue to a certain point. But your business owner contacts, your warm market, business owners you know, business owners you shop at, business owners you golf with, business owners you frequent and buy your wedding cake from, or buy your birthday cakes from, that bakery in town, or the florist in town, or the pita shop in town, or the ice cream shop in town. All those places, just know 6 out of 10 are breaking even only. They're not profitable. And so even if you just help them do nothing else, you don't give them funding to grow their business to 2 times or 3 times sales, but you immediately increase their profit by 3% by getting them on dual pricing. Now, the way we've got it is seamless, right? We can get dual pricing. It's not easy, but it's simple. There's not much more to it than changing. It's just like on my phone here, I've got a phone number plugged in. And if I switch carriers, I can take my phone number to that new device and I keep using it. But there's some work behind the scenes that has to happen. Nobody just gets a phone, gets a new one. You got to move data, you got to do some things. But this takes more than the average merchant processor migration, because we're just changing an MID number in their current reader many times. So it can be very simpler to migrate to a payment processing reader from one company to the next than moving your phone from one provider to the next, right? Sometimes you need new equipment, but the good news is you don't have to concern yourself with all that. What you want to concern yourself with is your residual income and their profitability. Your residual income and you saving them 3% of sales per year. You're going to walk into a place and save them 3% of sales on average, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. So the reason why, if you look at any human nature studies, and I'm saying this because we should be producing a lot more customers. We should be producing a lot more referrals. And we shouldn't be just getting new startups. We shouldn't, some of our agents need to recognize that what you're bringing is high value and high expertise to the conversation. Go through all the trainings, go through all the past videos, read the dual pricing cash discounting training. Read it and educate yourself. You'll know more than most business owners. But at that point now, the reason why you're reaching out is business owners need help. They need profitability. They're on their way to, if they're breaking even only, eventually they turn the key off. They shut down. Who would stay active breaking even forever? Nobody. So they break even until their lease is up and then they close because they're like, I'm not signing another 5-year lease to break even for another 5 years, right? And that's why you see restaurants last 3 years when they're gone. They stayed there because they had to pay rent either way, whether they closed or not. So they stayed open until their lease was up and then they left. They closed the doors. Well, we can help them. That 3% is a difference maker. Now, this is what I want you to see. The average business, the average restaurant, the average donut shop, the average are making about 5% to 6% if they're profitable. 5 to 6% of sales. Now, I want you to just do this for a minute. Let's say they're doing 100,000 in sales and they're making $5,000 a month. They're doing 100,000 in sales, making $5,000 a month, and you move them to dual pricing. And that $5,000 becomes $8,000 a month. You've increased their profit by over 50% by switching to dual pricing. So I need all of us. We all need to recognize our place in the marketplace. We talk about being service superheroes. We talk about being the front line of capitalism for the front line of capitalism. The front line of capitalism is all the business owners. We're bringing them business funding. We've done that, hundreds of thousands of applications. We're very good at that. You guys are doing great with that. You know where we're falling short is helping the 6 out of 10 business owners who can't get funding, don't have an idea for funding to get profitable. And the fastest way we can help them get profitable is moving them over to dual pricing or cash discounting, whatever you want to call it. That's the fastest thing you can do to make an impact in the business owner community in your town is get 3% of their fees gone, 3% of their expenses gone. If they're breaking even today on 100,000 in sales, they'll be making $3,000 a month tomorrow on 100,000 a month. That's 36,000 a year. They'll make profit immediately. Now they're a profitable business. They don't have to worry about shutting the doors. They actually can earn a living. And it can fund future things. So if one donut shop is doing dual pricing, you all know that I'm a partner in a donut shop. We're doing dual pricing. If our neighbor's not, who's at a competitive advantage? Us or them? They're charging full price and charging a credit card and don't have dual pricing. So that means they're getting 3% less of their sales. We're selling the same donut, charging dual pricing. We get all that sales. Who's at a competitive advantage? You may go, they are, because they're charging less. They're charging 4 cents less per dollar than you. Okay. So we may lose 10 customers to them. But the other 1,000 customers, we're not losing 4% of our sales to. Would you rather lose 4 customers, their donut order, or would you rather make and have on the other 1,000 customers, you get your fees covered? You may lose a customer or two to dual pricing, but I don't know of anyone on here who doesn't go to a gas station because they charge more at the pump than inside. Nobody does. They either walk in with cash and pay the lower price and go through the hassle of that, or they don't care and they pay with a credit card. Guess what? If you don't want to pay the higher price at our donut shop, bring cash, just like the gas station, and nobody complains. You know, Hugh helped us, Hugh Pover, who I'm doing it today. Hugh might be watching actually, but yeah, I do see him on here. Hugh helps us. He's helping us right now get a real large pizza franchise. And he's helped 8 or 9 locations. We're going to get many more. It's Wade Cordell's personal customer. And we asked the owner one day, and he just submitted some more to us. In fact, we asked the owner one day, how many complaints have you had in your 8 locations now? 0. Not one person has even mentioned it. Yet he was hesitant to move forward. Hugh had to tell him a story after a story after a story of situations. I had to tell him about our donut shops and our ice cream shops. We've never had complaints. I think we've had 2 or 3 people even mention it since 2015. So we're talking about in 9 years, I think we've had less than 5 people even mention it. Guys, You are going to hear it from clients, though, that they're a little concerned. Hey, don't tell them they're wrong. Relate and identify with it. I can understand how you feel. I felt the same way when I first heard of this. In fact, the owner of our company, David Rutz, DAC, he's got a few businesses, retail businesses, and he felt the same way. And he was reluctant to take that step. And he looked at what gas stations were doing and said, well, they're doing it, and we can charge cash. And the only reason he was willing to do it is he knew there was a button on his machine that he could waive the charge. And so he was ready to go forward. And and so finally he was ready to go forward with it, but it took him several months. So I can understand how you feel. He even felt the same way. But what they found is since 2015, they've had less than 5 people even mention it. Less than 5 even mention it. And if someone wants to pay cash, they can, which is cool. So what I would encourage you to do is try it for a few months. If something happens, you want to move back to regular pricing, we'll move you back to regular pricing. You don't have to stay on it forever, right? We can put you on dual pricing. And if you, for whatever reason, it's not working out for you and you don't like it, you don't like what it's doing to your customers, we'll move you. It's a real risk-free way of giving it a try. Feel, felt, found. Feel, felt, found. Feel, felt, found. It's a simple way of relating and identifying with them. But guys, all I wanted to talk about today before we go to your questions is that we have to remember the reason why we're doing what we're doing. Yeah, for our own families. You know, Hugh's my neighbor. He's got a significant residual income. He's doing this for a long time. You go through my town, anyone you talk to about payment processing, they mention Hugh. Hugh's been doing this so long that people know he's the expert in town, right? That's why we partnered with him. That's why we've sent business his way. And that's why we're using them even going forward on our largest accounts. You know, I just referred to my network marketing company to him last week. So the good news is payment processing is a way that you can make a lucrative, significant income and do so by becoming a pro at this. Now, we're working on some things to have even higher rev shares so that we can pay even more on some things. We've got, just like we have in funding, many processors. Hugh is one of our processors. We've got a couple other processors, right? Some of you know if it's under a certain amount, it goes to one carrier. If it's over a certain amount, it goes to Hugh. If it's high risk, it goes. So we've got another processor we're adding to this so that Hugh can be focused on his stuff more. And we still have our get started people, the startups in one area, and Hugh will be in another, and then we are in another area for others. So we're going to have multiple processors serving just like we do funding. So we can have one-stop best processor, right? But with all that said, until you have in your mindset right now, it doesn't matter if you want to lose weight. You know, any of you know me for any period of time, you know I kind of do this, and I'm in this mode right now. You know, I'm down 10 pounds this week, and I'm focused on abstinence of all the wrong food and exercise and walk and all that, right? And guess what happens? Body responds immediately. But if I don't have that list in front of me, I drift away from it. If I don't have my to-do, my off-limit things, guess what happens? My weight drifts up. I drift away from health. And guess what? If you don't have a list today for payment processing clients to reach out to and a goal to have 1 or 2 new clients this week in payment processing, you'll drift away and not get any. Right? If you don't have a goal for funding today, you'll get no applications. So we need to have a daily, if you're part-time with this, then maybe your goal is every 72 hours you want to get a payment processing. Yes, I'm interested in more. Or maybe once a week. But if you're full-time, you should have once a day you're getting someone on the phone. You're contacting enough businesses where you've got one person says, yeah, I'm interested in getting rid of my fees. Please give me some more information. And you can get more information. The next day is a follow-up to get them moving forward. Or, yeah, I'm ready to move now. Oh, great. All we need is a copy of your statement. You want me to fill out the form for you now and get you started? You can upload your statements or you can email them to me. So we need to have it in our daily off limits. Off limits is not talking to people about it. That's off limits. That's like me going to have a hot fudge sundae right now when I'm trying to drop weight. And well, it's the holidays. Okay, well, that doesn't matter. Do you want to be healthy or not? Well, you know, I'm full time at the hospital as a nurse. I don't really need to get payment processing customers this week. Okay, then don't expect to ever not be a nurse. If you want to be a nurse forever, keep being it. But if you're trying to get out of your job or replace it with the residual income from your payment processing customers, then this week you need to get some customer apps this week. So skills increase as your activity increases. So get training, go through all the trainings, get all that skill increase that you can understand, read and understand it. But activity, the activity level is what grows your skills most, because you eventually have a relaxed intensity about you. There's no one I can't put on the phone with Hugh that he can't handle their payment processing. Nobody. So I feel comfortable putting them on, and I have put them on the phone. People doing $100 million a year in payment processing. So there's nobody we can't put on the phone, right? Because of its skill set. Well, you don't have to be there. You just have to be good enough to help them understand. But you do want to grow your skills, and you need to have a relaxed intensity about you that says, "Hey, you can count on me that I'm going to take good care of you, put you in good hands." We got partners that are fantastic. So we've got another processor other than Hugh that's, got 30 years experience, and they represent many different providers. And there's a lot of different things that we can do, including Beat Square. So our Square Beater program is going to be coming out very soon, which is almost impossible to do, but they're a very big company with a lot of dollars. So that means they're willing to lose money on some accounts to land the accounts. And that's unheard of. But when you have the big play, the long tail, you can do stuff like that. So we've got some new things we're looking at launching early in January as part of our whole overhaul of DAC's funding and payment processing and healthcare. So if you're sitting with us today as an agent, this is for agents, dual pricing is the future. It is already presently I would guess about 10% of the businesses have already switched to it. 90% will. And I used to say in the next 5 years, I bet in the next 18 months, most all businesses who are in retail will already be on this. Well, already it's kind of when high-speed internet started. You had the outliers who stayed with the dial-up, but it wasn't long before high-speed was available. Everyone saw the reason why they should go to it. Big value to the companies, big value to the homeowners. Well, guess what? Payment processing has been exceptional. Dual pricing is like off the charts. What it does for business owners, what it does for them is crazy. So, what is your goal? How many clients are you going to have fill out a form today? How many clients are you going to help get to profitability? Switch it around. How many clients are you going to help increase their profit this week? How many businesses do you know who you're going to help them next year when they do their taxes? They're going to make 4% more in profit because you told them about dual pricing. Or are you going to let them learn about it from someone on a telemarketer call or someone else in town who talks to them first? And you're going to go in there and spend money there and see they're already on it. See, they're already on it. And nothing gets me up more frustrated than going into a business I've been in 20 or 30 times and then go in and they're already on dual pricing and they didn't get it through me. There's nothing bothers me more than that. They're my client. I shop there. I should be the one talking to the owner, right? So until you're talking to the owner, they're not your client. Doesn't matter what you spend there, how much the owner likes you. It's our job, guys. So I'm asking all of you to flip the switch. Flip it. Your job is to help the business owners in your town. Your responsibility is to help the business owners in your town, in your market, in your phone. They need to know that we care about their profitability. We care about their ability to scale without having to worry about their sales profit. We care about them having a competitive advantage with the neighbors. And we care most of all about them doing all this compliantly, where they're not going to violate any Visa or MasterCard rules. And we've got the expertise to support them all the way over. You don't have to have the expertise. My son, Addison's staying with us right now. He's upstairs right now in an office we have upstairs, and he's doing a sales call. He's kind of the expert now for this company he works with, where he gets on to support the salespeople who are selling this security product. It's a software security, but he gets on then and speaks about the software security to the clients that the sales guys and gals have pulled forward. Guess what? We've got someone who does that for you. When you get a client who gives us the statements, you don't have to have well, how do I move this POS over? You don't need to worry about that right now. All you need to know is we've got that covered. We've done that with thousands of businesses. You don't have to worry about that. You're not gonna have outage. We're not gonna do anything that's gonna disrupt your service. You don't have to go a day without taking credit cards. No, you'll turn one on and then turn the other off. We're not gonna do anything to you to lose sales, right? We've got all this is worked out seamless. No business would ever want to not take credit cards for a day. None. So we're going to hook you up the right way. You need to have that confidence and boldness and also understand that. And Hugh's given you a lot of training. We had training as part of that. We're going to continue having trainings. And I encourage you all now, beyond payment processing knowledge, hey, let's get a little greedy with our time. Let's get a little greedy. You don't want 24 to come to a close without having some payment processing customers started. You got a whole month right now to get some payment processing customers submitted and contracts filled out and get an MID issued and be processing. So when next year starts, you go, I'm already going into the year with an income of 12 grand because I'm making $1,000 a month on that client. I already got a $24,000 a year income in 2025 because I've already got 2 payment processing clients. I'm not going to just talk to the startup square buster. It's great that we got that, but that's like our giggle funding. You're not going to make money on that unless they become a massive business. You want to focus on the restaurants that have a line out the door. You want to focus on the businesses that have frequency. You don't exist without doing 50,000 a month in your local retail mall. They shut down. If they're doing 50,000 a month, you can make a nice living on that with dual pricing. Someone's going to. And once they switch, you're not getting them then. You'll never get them then. They're already on. You can't save them money from there. The only thing you can do then is sign them up as a DAC agent, tell them to get paid on themselves. That's the only thing you can do there, which of course you can do, but that's the only thing you can do. And then you get the override. Hey, be the one that helps set them up. Be the one, even if you don't get paid a dime for it. How could you let business owners in your town overpay? You wouldn't. You shouldn't. If you could save them 4% on their lease, you would tell them about it. Their rent. You tell them about it. Their rent is such a small price compared to their payment processing. You can save them. You can make it rent free for them to live there. What we save on payment processing in our donut shop is more than our rent. What we save in payment processing in our ice cream shop is more than our rent for the ice cream shop. Do you understand? By switching, we got our rent free. So think about those type things that you're doing. Now, next, think about your family. And I'm ending with this. Why don't you focus on driving the heck out of your residual revenue? You got your fundings to make the now money. We're sending out just on that one funding, one guy last week we're sending out 30,000 in commissions to the team on one funding. That's significant. But if that never gets another funding, it stops at 30. You sign up a payment processing, Wade got this franchise that's kicking out a couple $1,000s in revenue a month, 24 grand every year, and it'll be here for years. And there's more locations to come. Would you rather the biggest funding in our history kicks out 30 grand, or payment processing kicking out 30 grand a year? They both pay the same. You're getting the money the same way, but one pays you month after month for life. So I'm encouraging all of you to become pros at dual pricing. Become a pro at it. You know what? Becoming a pro is not that difficult because there's very few people doing it. Become a pro at cash discount. Become a pro at helping people with their being a referral source. The people that have my son on the phone right now, Addison, who's on the phone, are people who got real good at piquing interest with a client, saying, would you like to talk to our tech experts, and get them on the phone with the tech? Pique interest in people that we can get you dual pricing, get the lead going, let them talk to one of the experts. You don't have to be the expert. Eventually you'll become the expert through activity, but step it up today. Reach out to 3 or 4 businesses today. Pull up your phone and look in here and go, which business owners here have I not told about this? Hey, what are you doing for dual pricing? What are you doing for dual pricing? What are you doing for payment processing? You still eating all the fees? Just start the conversation. Start the conversation. We've got that whole training packet that's got all the scripts you can say. All right. That's all I got for you today, folks. I appreciate you all. Really, 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 I encourage you to set your goals. standard, I know, but most of us don't have them. Set your goals and make accomplishing your goals this month a reality. So starting next year, you've got a residual income already padded out. Already padded out. You've already got some coming in, and add to it every month. And then one day you'll be like my buddy Hugh, who doesn't need to work. It still works, but he doesn't need to because his residual income is so large on his payment processing clientele that he gets to chill. And just, but he keeps helping businesses, but he doesn't have to. And you can buy the vacation home and you can do all the other things and the lake house 10 miles away because you need a lake house. Yes, I'm bragging on you a little bit. And yeah, you can have the most beautiful house in the golf community because you got your residual income and you can go golf every freaking day and meet more and more clients golf. And yes, I'm bragging on you. You get to do all those, but he's earned it. He's built it. He's done what he had to do. And guess what? You can use him and our other suppliers to help take care of your clients. All you got to do is start having the conversations. Appreciate you all. God bless you all. Have a great, great day. We'll